Welcome to Gurus on the Spot, bringing you nuggets of well-being from the Indian wisdom traditions. I'm VENA RAMPHAL, classical Indian dancer and spiritual coach. As the director of the Bhavan, you have watched thousands and thousands of concerts, dance concerts, music concerts, performing arts of all kinds. So I want to know from you, what is it that makes a good performing artist? What kind of qualities should we cultivate as artists?
See, someone who would have studied life well, somebody who wants to express whatever one has. One should feel like there is something in me is making me restless. I want to share with others. Somebody who has achieved something in a particular field and which is very helpful for others in different ways. It could bring joy to an individual. It could bring a kind of relaxation to others. And also, an artist will feel really happy when he or she is able to express what he has got inside. Mm. Otherwise, sometimes people say that I go mad if I don't say something.
Yes.
Artist is someone who should feel like that only when he feels if I don't say what I have now, I'm going to go mad. I'm going to die. Mm. That's when it becomes really great. Scene, whether it's Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, or Bala Murali ji, or Padma Subramaniam, or Birju Maharaj ji. I just don't want to name, but so many artists. Mm. I'm just taking a few which comes to our mind right now. Mm. They would not have been what they have achieved had they not felt like that.
Yes. Yeah. So it's that sense of it has to come out very naturally then. It's something that simply expresses out of you. So this is really interesting because I think with all of the classical Indian art forms, there's such an emphasis on training, and the training is the foundation. But what Absolutely. You're saying is that on top of that training, the training really is the foundation. And then on top of that, it has to be very personal.
For example, if a dancer like you, when you have practice, there are occasions when you are still on the stage, but still you are conveying so much. How is that possible? Because you have spent so much time so that even when you are not doing anything, you're doing so much.
Yes, yes. Given the spiritual basis of all of the Indian arts, what is the purpose of art as you see it?
Purpose of art at the beginner stage is to express oneself, whatever one has learned or experienced. Once you start doing that, a stage will come where one will start feeling what next. Finally, you will reach a stage whereby you feel that it's not just to please somebody, it's to search for that experience compared to which all other experiences in life becomes nothing literally. All the art, if it leads to that, that becomes a really meaningful art. Every artist would have experienced that. Maybe at the feet of their guru, they will learn something. When they talk to their friends, they will learn something. When they are on their own, they will learn something. But gradually, as they grow in their chosen field, they will imbibe. When you put all this into practice, if you don't allow yourself to be swayed by name, fame, money, this and that, you will start reaching to that experience which brings you the greatest joy, compared to which every other experience falls to insignificance. I feel that's called Rasa Anubhava, not just through your composition as a poet, or through your images as a sculptor, or through your artwork as a painter. If one is able to go beyond that, that's the experience what I'm talking to you just now. That's what Vedas proclaim as Raso Vai Saha. That is the real rasa or aesthetic experience, not just aesthetic experience, is a very essence of life.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Out of all the performances you've seen at the Bhavan, and I know that there have been many wonderful performances, some by very famous artists, some wonderful performances also by not so famous artists. Right now, can you think of maybe two particular instances on stage when you witnessed that you were talking about just now, that sense of rasa, and how did it come across?
Right. I think I would restrict myself to the field of dance.
Okay.
Because I think it would be easier that way. Even if it were music also, I would have selected, say, like Ravi Shankarji and Balamuraliji. Both are very senior. Nobody would question about that. Also, similarly, in the field of dance, I'm going to select two who are so very special, nobody will object. One is
Okay.
one is Dr. Padma Subramaniam, the other one is Birju Maharaj. Let's say two
Okay.
different. Both of them are so very special because they were not just good in their own field. They had studied every other aspect of art. That's when they go on the stage, it's different than everyone else.
Right.
Every movement brings out something new. And you feel, yes. See, when as an audience, if you feel, yes, when an artist performs something, that's when you are communicating with the actual performance. That's when you are able to become one with the artist and whatever he or she is presenting. Though for all purpose of, these Natya Shastra rules, etc., wherein we say that, an artist should never forget oneself.
Mm-hmm.
But his duty is to make the audience forget. But
yeah.
in the process, an artist will also forget. But if one is able to bring a performance to that level where the musician, the artist, and the audience becomes one with that experience, that's possible when an artist is like our Padmaji or Maharaji. See, in Bharata's Natya Shastra, all this is brought out in a beautiful way. When you are able to imbibe all this in whatever you do, so when you go and present, not necessarily it should follow what Bharata has said, your hand movement has to be there or there. No, it doesn't matter. Wherever your hand goes, the meaning of whatever one is trying to convey, it will happen.
Yes.
The initial stage, you will have to make it the exact same way as whatever teacher teaches you. A stage will come where it doesn't matter. You are able to communicate with the audience even without following those. Maharaji is a wonderful dancer, a brilliant tabla player, an excellent singer, a composer like Padmaji. So, because he knows all this, when any item is performed, music, the rhythm, the lyrics, everything becomes one in his personality as he goes and performs on the stage. Just like Padmaji, when she performs, whether it's Andal, whether it's Rama, whether she performs for Tchaikovsky's a piece, because she's so very well trained in a particular traditional art form, she is able to use that to express herself anything in life.
Yes.
There are certain dances, when they perform, it's still lingering in your mind all the time. It never ends. Yes. The show may end here, but it never ends. That's called Rasanubhava. According to me, when something finishes physically there, but it never finishes mentally here. This is what our Vedanta tells you. Aesthetic experience, even for that moment, makes you forget everything connected with life and all the difficulties, complications one goes through one's life. If he is able to, forget that. If one is able to hold on to that,
yes,
that experience, you are liberated there and then. Our philosophy says, Mukti is not after death. Mukti is here and now. When you listen to a beautiful concert, you lose yourself, you're gone. Mentally, you close your eyes, people have to wake you up. If any artist, if he or she is capable of doing that, then they have achieved what is required of them.
That ability to use the art form as a spiritual vehicle to uplift and enlighten, that I think for me that really is the strength of the tradition. You are always very humble, Uncle Nanda, but you have such great knowledge of the Sanskrit texts and the poetry, and with your experience of having watched so much performance, what you shared here today is really valuable for artists and also for Rasikas, of course. So thank you very much.
Thank you, VENA. Namaste.
Namaskar.